And now, in a break from our usual programming, Not Enough Podcast presents Leftover Analysis. This week, I sit down with a friend of the podcast, Sean, to talk about 7 Seconds. And we try and get at the ideas of truth and justice. Here it is.
So what did you think about it, Brandon?
Alright, so 7 Seconds is...
let me read the description.
Okay, that's definitely a good idea.
For those in our large audience who have never seen the show.
I'm sure that... I'm actually quite certain that a lot of people haven't seen the show, honestly.
It came out in 2018, so that was 2, 3, 4, this year. And the description on Netflix is only one season right now. It's rated TVMA.
That makes sense.
The description reads, the death of a 15-year-old African-American boy in Jersey City sets off a police cover-up and a search for the truth. Starring some 3 people that you probably never heard of.
Honestly, yeah.
.com.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about truth in the show? Because I didn't even know that was
truth?
In the description.
Because of the cover-up?
Yeah, well...
What do you mean, truth?
Well, it was in just the fact that it was in the description, and then also, I think in the show, that's what everybody's fighting over, you know?
It's truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people are fighting for truth, and some people are just fighting for admittance of truth. Some people are fighting for their family.
Yeah.
And some people are an alcoholic, and some people... No, I think it's interesting because I think at the beginning that guy really wants to do the right thing, even though he might not handle it the best way he could have. He at least wanted to do the right thing, and he tried to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But he just eventually gave in. Though he just didn't have enough. I don't know.
Willpower, maybe. I don't know.
He just didn't have enough conviction about it to value it, the truth and the honest way of handling it more than his status and family.
I know we talked about this a little bit before, but that whole thing of he really does start off as not a complete piece of crap. He really is an okay person.
No, I think he still stays that same way. He just values things differently, and so it affects his judgment. He valued, not accepting help more than he valued doing the right thing.
Right.
And so he valued his macho attitude of I can support this family on my own more than he valued having money and getting it the right way.
I didn't even think about that. That's an interesting way to
because he didn't start off wanting to do crime.
Right.
He did crime because he wanted to get money for his family, but he didn't want to do it the right way or whatever. He didn't want to do it legally. He just wanted to get the easy money and not worry about his wife having to work. It's just kind of a pride thing for him. All the stuff all the bad decisions he made were mostly based on pride.
I didn't even catch that, so that's... I'm glad that, this is why I like talking to people.
People's description.
Yeah.
Or the different point of view. Perspective.
Yeah. Yes. Mindset, even.
Yeah, mayhaps. See, I'm looking at it a different way than you are, because you're coming at it you're just agreeing with most of the stuff, right?
What do you mean?
You liked the way that it was set up, and the way that... I don't know, I think it was kind of... You like the ideas of, tolerance, and... I don't know, it just touched on a lot of political, social...
Yeah, I do love that. I'll admit, I'm a sucker for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying you liked a certain particular viewpoint, but you just like that topic.
Yeah, just the fact that it's even a thing that's...
You just like talking about things.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I don't know. Did you catch this? I don't know. So there's a thing that was used a lot in the show, and when I say a lot,
alcohol. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Animals, the use of animals imagery is really often used in the show. It's
Was it seagulls?
No,
are you looking at your notes? You got notes?
I had notes.
Cheating.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You're a good host. That's
I usually don't do this, actually. I'm really bad about taking notes. I just try and make mental notes, but this actually is...
Yeah, it's a whole TV show, so...
Yeah, it's quite a bit. It's 10 hours? More than 10 hours, actually.
The last episode is almost 2 hours. It's an hour and... It's 80 minutes. I guess that's not almost 2 hours, but... It would be... If it was on TV, it would be almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of meant. Just it was mostly, 54, 57, 57, hour and 2 minutes, hour and 1 minute, 59 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour, 4 minutes, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 1 hour, 20 minutes.
So, like, okay. Oh, man, that's louder than I meant it to be. Animal imagery in this. They talk a lot about, so, like, D'Angelo he never wants to be defined as an animal or be seen as an animal. And it's all about, like, the way that people are viewed in the show. I feel like people care more about how they're viewed than what they actually do, their actual actions.
Yeah, they're all worried about their image.
Yeah,
pride.
Image, yeah. Okay, so I think pride is. I was looking at, like, I kind of found a different, like, main theme of the show, but I think pride is actually more accurate than what I was thinking of. So, like, all right, let's get into that. Let's see who else. Let's get into pride. Okay.
So the biggest pride factor, I think, the guy that had the most pride, or at least affected the TV show the most, with his pride, was the main guy that killed the kid.
Jablonski.
Yes, Jablonski meat. You see her, that's fine. It's a very good meat. But there was also another huge, just like, as a human, the most prideful person on there probably was his father.
Isaiah.
Of Benton. Yes, Isaiah.
Okay.
Because he was very stuck in status as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
Because his status was he wanted to not be part of all the gangs and stuff, and that's probably a good thing. but his pride apparently affected his kid the way he grew up, and really estranged his son just because he wanted him to have a better life.
Right.
And that's kind of how sometimes your worst intentions are the best intentions can still go to shit.
Yeah, you can say that. It's okay. You don't have to censor yourself.
You're always apologizing whenever you say something.
I know. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Okay, so like KJ though, does she? I think like the way that she does.
She probably has the least pride of anyone.
Yeah. Which is that what positions her in the best place to like actually deal with like or be the person to handle
her and the cop, her detective friend.
Yeah.
They were probably the least prideful. They had made their mistakes, and he kind of owned his mistakes. But she was still trying to own them. And she was maybe not trying to, but she still needed to.
Right.
She had made mistakes, but still was running away from her problems instead of dealing with them like he seemed like he was trying to, with his daughter and everything. But she was just trying to numb the pain instead of deal with whatever problems she actually has.
Okay, so like John Truby, he's like a screenwriter. He talks a lot about like psychological need and moral need, and KJ, I feel like her moral need was like to, like you said, to deal with her failings in the past, right? And I think by the end of the show, do you think she's like finally like accepted the fact that like failure is a part of life, or do you think that she's more like?
Well, who knows what she'll do for the rest of her life? But at least in that part of the show, she's tried to just forget that, because she was actually the one fighting against Fish to find the actual truth.
Right. For the most of the show, it's really interesting that.
Yeah, and then eventually it was just such a weird interaction with them two, because at first she was fighting for the truth and he didn't care. He was just trying to get the case under. But then when he finally committed to it, it kind of showed like how the difference between them, or one of the differences, I guess, it was that she was female and he was male. Oh no, sorry, different difference. One of the differences was that she originally just in her heart wanted to find the truth, and he wanted to find the truth because he wanted to find the truth. Once he decided to find the truth, he wanted to find the truth, and she gave up at some point, multiple times probably.
Yeah, definitely.
And he since he'd committed to doing it, he wanted to do it. It wasn't even really about doing the right thing for him.
Right.
At some points, I mean, it got to that point with the girl and things, but originally he wanted to find the truth because he decided he wanted to find the truth. She wanted to find the truth just because I was in her.
Interesting. Okay. So
I don't know if that even answered your question. There's a sentence or two for you.
Yeah, we're here Not Enough Podcast. We're not really looking for answers. We're just
this isn't a TV interview.
Exactly.
I don't have a script.
True.
They wouldn't follow it anyway.
No one does.
Unless you're going to pay me money. I mean, money talks.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not saying you. I'm just...
Okay.
Why does this thing say mute on it?
I don't know.
The red light?
Is it blinking?
No.
Then it's not on mute.
Good.
We're not recording right now. That would be... I've had that happen before.
Yeah, you just like get to the end and you're like, oh.
It's not recording anything. Yeah. Ooh. All right. So justice, though, in the show. What about justice? What is the nature of justice, and like how does the show view justice? Because like, all right, so it sets it up like from the beginning, lets the audience know what happened. Like, there's no questions about like what actually happened
at the beginning,
right?
Yeah.
And we're all we're trying to find is like, I feel like the question of like intent becomes more important than action. And
oh yeah, in this show for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it wasn't focusing on who killed the kid. It was focusing on how they're covering it up and how they're trying to uncover it.
Right.
It was all about the truth.
I know. I realize we just talked about that, but still.
No, but you're talking about justice, not truth.
But truth,
justice versus truth.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's the question I think here.
Or in relation to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting question there, I would say.
So, all right, I didn't take that many notes. I just wrote down some quotes like from the show that I think like reference justice. Right. So I don't know. There's one line about from the mother of Brenton Latrice. She talks about like when she's considering killing Jablonski. She talks about like whose life matters more, and like basically. I think it's like this idea of like retributive justice. You know, are you familiar with that?
Like getting something for losing something.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm not sure what the show is trying to say about it. I just know that it's saying something about it. Like that's often I find that with shows like I can't.
Yeah, because the show doesn't say anything. The characters do,
right?
And so it's really like your interpretation of what the characters do and how they portray themselves. How the show just portrays how the characters do it. And obviously there's antagonists and protagonists, and so then the antagonist generally is the idea they disagree with. Generally, yeah. And the protagonist usually has bad ideas that change to good ideas from the perspective of the writer. Right. But yeah, it was an interesting show. I liked it the way it was written because there were so many different characters that really had an active role in the justice of the kids' lives, because like everywhere there was backstabbing, someone was backstabbing them, backstabbing, and then crazy. Yeah, and then also the fact that the detectives and the prosecutor, when they were finding things out, they were finding pieces out, but they really it seemed more real because they weren't just like drawing these conclusions and all of a sudden becoming the answer, right? You know, like in CSI or NCIS or something, they were drawing conclusions that were natural human conclusions, but weren't right because of cover-ups. But they would uncover part of the cover-up and think, it's cover-up, and then they'd still get it wrong though, because there was so much covering up. I know. Oh man, yeah. You're really hitting the nail on the head. I think. Like I totally agree with that. Well, I used to be a carpenter, so that makes sense. That adds up. Well, yeah, but yeah. So like your first quote here, the Jablonski with, I don't know if I should say it or you should say it. Do you want to say the quote? It's fine. You can say it. So this is the guy that killed the kid says it's wrong. The cover-up is wrong, you know, and you know it is to his cop buddy. And his cop buddy says, "Who cares, man? Not you." Oh, those are different. I don't get that. Sorry, what? Those aren't direct. Like, okay, so like. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Those are different quotes from so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So in that scene, he's confronting one of his cops because he wants to tell the truth. Well, yeah, but he can't get through to his boss, so he's trying to get through the other guy. Okay. Because the other guy confronted him for trying to do the right thing. So, like, he's getting shit for doing the right thing, or at least wanting to. Mm. And then when he tries to do the right thing in the first couple episodes, he gets cut down, he gets shot down, he gets stopped. Yeah. Even makes physical, takes actual steps, and they still get cut the legs out from his them. All right. And then, so his perspective on justice changes because he wants to do the right thing, but then his boss convinces him that he should focus on his family and care about them more, and that the kid's life isn't worth it. Right. And so it's like how I was telling you about, like my personal experience with racism. Okay. Like he learns that from his cop. Mm. He didn't care if he was a banger. He killed a guy, and he should help. He should call the cops, like do the right thing, Even if he'd known the kid was alive, he would have had a different idea of it. But his thought was he's dead, so we got to call it in. Right. He killed somebody, Like like someone is dead. I'm a cop. I have this moral belief that I should do this.
Right.
But he learns to be immoral from his boss, and so his perspective on justice changes. Whereas most of the other characters, they stay the exact same way about justice the whole show.
Yeah.
It's him change, and pretty much he changes, and like right near the end, the mom kind of changes her opinion. She doesn't just want the guy to die.
Right.
She just wants some confession and some peace, so that she can have personal peace. But that's just I kind of thought she was being selfish most of the show, because it's, like her son's dead,
right.
And she's got to deal with that. But nothing she does now at all will help the kid. Yeah, because you can honor him, and you can do your best to honor him and try to get that guy that killed him to honor him. But it's really just for her own peace.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. So there's this other idea. It's not really related to the show, but it's just something I've been kind of talking about for the last couple of days. And
it's not. Please don't talk about fascism.
I've been talking about fascism.
No, I'm kidding.
So there's a disconnect, okay, between logical understanding of something and emotional connection to that understanding. Do you? I don't know. Do you see
understanding something and actually letting it affect you?
Yes.
If I understand that maybe, or at least I believe, I guess, that I know that in the Bible there are words that say you should not lie.
Okay.
And I know that that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That in the Bible it says you should not lie.
Okay.
But if I don't value the Bible, then it doesn't affect me emotionally at all if I lie.
Okay, I see.
Based on that, anyhow.
Right.
Maybe there's another book that I like that says don't lie. But based on that book, if I don't like that book, then that doesn't affect me. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure what I'm saying. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. So I'm just going to keep going with it.
All right, we'll see. I got Google Maps if you're confused.
Thanks. I'll look at that later.
Yeah, Mario.
But what about what about morality? Right. So how you were basically I'm not sure if that's what you were saying there. That someone's moral obligation to do something is kind of tied to an emotional connection to an idea of right and wrong. You know what I mean? Did that make sense at all?
I'm not sure. If you rephrase it or say it again, I might.
Okay, so
just using it as an example, you're really not good at explaining ideas. You're good at putting them into an example sometimes, though.
Okay, so with the Bible, right?
No offense. I'm kidding.
With the Bible, you were saying so the Bible says don't lie. That's
actually, it says thou shalt not bear false witness, but whatever. In your version, it might say that. I don't know. There's 700 versions of it.
So many. So if you don't connect with that emotionally, you don't view that as a moral obligation.
Yeah. Based on that sentence in the Bible,
right?
I'm not morally obligated to do that if I don't value the Bible. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. I'm just curious, how.
There's a lot of people out there that don't value, they don't morally value the law, certain parts of it anyway.
Right.
Yeah. The reason they don't kill somebody is not because the law says you'll go to jail forever. Mm-hmm. It's because they feel like they shouldn't kill somebody.
Right.
But then there are also people that just don't value paying taxes. They don't morally feel like obeying. Personally, I feel no moral obligation to obey the law.
Okay.
Unless there's another reason. Because some guy wrote a law for North Carolina, that doesn't morally make me feel like I should follow it.
Okay, yeah.
It's I feel like I should be a good citizen or whatever, But someone writing a law doesn't change my morals, All
right, so if we're talking about morality and then
I don't speed so I don't get pulled over. I don't speed because I feel bad about it.
Right.
Or I don't want to kill somebody or whatever, I don't want to hit somebody.
So you're just trying to follow kind of social norms, what is expected?
Because there's a consequence.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that particular case.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to get at here, but
maybe there's no point. Is there a point? Yeah, this conversation isn't a pencil. Is there a point?
Okay, just made a pencil joke. All right. Hey guys, thanks for listening. Again, this is Not Enough Podcast presents Leftover Analysis. We'll see you next week.